Hello guys and welcome to the channel. This is probably the most wanted and desirable Rolex out there, not counting the Daytona of course. Unfortunately, due to its scarcity, it is also almost unattainable, so much so that its price has grown to more than double retail on the gray market. Reference is 126710 BLRO. Last four letters in this complicated reference is French for blue and red. It came out at Bezel World in 2018. In wristwatch circles, this beautiful GMT goes also under the nickname of Pepsi GMT. The history of the GMT is actually very interesting. At Rolex, production of the steel Pepsi started in 1954. It continued through the years until it stopped in 2007 with reference 16710. Since then, of course, Rolex released different versions of the GMT, but the Pepsi had to wait 11 years before it made it to market again. The reason for that is that meantime, Rolex developed the ceramic bezel insert, which they claim is scratch-proof and was delivered with every GMT ever since. However, to produce a ceramic bezel in two colors was technically something of a challenge, which they finally addressed in 2013 with the Batman. Then a first release of the Pepsi came out in 2014, but it wasn't solid white gold. Now, due to the considerable high price, that was not quite a hit, although still very desirable. And now what all watch lovers, or Rolex lovers for that matter, have been waiting for, this old steel reference is current production since 2018. So what is a GMT watch? Originally, this concept was designed for pilots who fly frequently to different time zones and need to be able to read time local and at a remote location at a quick glance. It is a feature that allows for a second time zone to be read, and that is achieved with a second hour hand in red color in this particular reference and a 24 hours bidirectional bezel. Now let me indulge on the bezel a little more. This is quite the focal point of this timepiece. The bezel is divided in two areas. The 18 to 6 o'clock zone is obviously in blue to symbolize nighttime, whereas the red area indicates daytime. The bezel insert itself is ceramic, and what you see in the numerals and dots recessed in it is actually platinum. The Jubilee bracelet is without a doubt the most comfortable bracelet I have ever worn with a watch. Polished center links and brushed outer links. This mix of polished and brushed continues on the clasp, which is the classic oyster clasp and is also adjustable. Very beautiful and functional as well. One little quirk of the dial that I would like to mention is the Rolex crown at 6 o'clock between the words Swiss made. That indicates a new generation of movements, which now leads me to the inner works. The caliber 3285 replaced the old caliber 3186 in 2018 when Rolex introduced this new reference. This is still of course a self-winding caliber, entirely developed and made in-house by Rolex. Updates from the previous generation include a greater resistance to shocks, a better anti-magnetism, efficiency, reliability, and most importantly, precision. Let me give you guys a wrist shot. Case size is of course 40 millimeters, which if you ask me, it is still the perfect size. I have a 17 centimeter wrist and it wears perfectly. There is a lot of hype around this watch, not entirely justified in my opinion, but one thing is sure, the GMT was always a very desirable watch, still is, and will always be. Great history, fantastic appeal, and interest will always form an aura of magic around the GMT, no doubt about it. And with that said, I'm wrapping this one up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.